that's it for the slides. I'm just going to go through. These are just slides that are going to run by themselves with examples of my work. And I'm just going to kind of run through a checklist of things I have here. So again, this idea of this gray area. I was brought up learning marketing and how to present a product or service to a community of people. So that's kind of how I go about doing my artwork as well. It's not how to get your face and your artwork in front of everyone, as many people as possible. It's figuring out your market, figuring out who the people are that you want to see your work and that will enjoy it. So one way I do that is by a lot of research. I find other artists that I enjoy that have similar aesthetics to me, figure out who's covering them, and in turn send basically cold emails. Is that a real term? It's like cold calling, but with emails. So I'll find other people that have a similar aesthetic and where they're getting run on the internet. I do most of my stuff through the internet and shoot an email to someone who writes a blog. It's like, hey, I saw so-and-so on your site. I really like it. I thought you might be interested in what I'm doing. No pressure. Later. And just keeping it really informal and just being like, yeah, I dig what you do. You dig what I do, and getting this communication going. So another thing about it is it's very much a lifestyle. I think a lot of us can agree in here that being an artist isn't a choice. That at least for me, it's not a choice. I have to make things, or I am sad. Basically. So it's very much a lifestyle, and being able to, a lot of my time is spent supporting other artists in my network of people. Of hey, what are you up to? You have you have this, and this going on. All right, I'm going to tell everyone else that my friend Bob has this thing too. If I'm talking about things, so the idea of helping each other too is a very, very big thing. A lot of the income that I make as an artist is directly put back into buying other people's artwork in the community because I really enjoy what they do, and they do the same thing that I'm doing, so I don't really see any other better place for that money to go. Creating a community. One thing, another big thing about the Post family is this, our space was started as strictly a workspace for us to get back to working with our hands, and this turned more into this conversation hub of sorts where we allow anyone to kind of come in our space at any time. It's usually by appointment because we're not there all the time, but we're completely open to people coming in. We really, really love this idea of people can come in and look at artwork and then meet people and have a conversation in our space. I'd almost go as far as persuading people to have meetings at our gallery openings. Come in and specifically meet someone there to talk about X, Y, and Z. Sit down in the space in a creative environment, meet other people, throw ideas back and forth, and it's all about really helping each other, not being in this shell and just kind of throwing things out on the internet and seeing what's coming back. So. Getting things out there. What else do I have here? Cold emailing. Another thing that I found which was very interesting to me is I do a lot of screen printing as well as some of the other guys in the Post family. And one thing that I've experienced is that prints and editions of things, and I'm not sure if you guys have had the same experience, but editions and prints tend to sell more frequently than one-off pieces of artwork, even if it's priced at a higher point. And it's kind of an interesting, thing. I don't know if it's that. My assumption is that it's a responsibility to buy artwork, a one-off piece of art. You're basically taking a piece of someone, and you have this responsibility for what is hopefully the rest of your life, and making sure that piece is taken care of. With prints and with editions, you don't have a one-of-a-kind piece. It's you obviously want to take care of it, and you obviously want to show this work for the rest of your life, but it's a little bit easier to come to terms with buying something that there's multiples of. It's less of a responsibility, and it could even be subliminal. But prints and editions of things tend to go a lot farther than one-off pieces of art, from my experience. And a lot of these things that Nikko was talking about with the online marketing and you know, spreading your stuff to different avenues, whether it's the e-commerce sites or the artists' social networks. One thing that I honestly have a problem with is, a big problem with, is keeping everything up to date. I had a friend who's here tonight that started a website 2.5 years ago and just figured out he had it, what, a week ago? And he's been trying to have me help him create this website, and I Googled his name and I was like, dude, you have a website, but it hasn't been updated since '07. So the idea of creating these profiles or creating these Twitter accounts and online stuff is you really need to make an effort to keep up to date with them and make sure that you're getting your stuff in front of people on a fairly regular basis. If you're just putting things up in a bum rush of things and you get a one-hit kind of amount of stuff it won't get you won't be reminding people that you're still doing stuff and you still have things to offer. So, and that's one thing that even if I don't, with these cold emails idea, if I don't even get a response from them, more than likely I'll email again and just reintroduce myself and say, you know, I thought you'd be interested in this, and you know, just one no from someone in an email does not mean that you should not contact them again. The fact that they emailed you back is probably enough to know that you should keep in touch with them and make sure that they know what you've been up to and what you're planning on doing. And so yeah, keep everything up to date. That's okay. That's my time.
Your time is up.